Everybody out there, this is Seto, and this week we're back again with all my Yu-Gi-Oh deck profiles. This is part 3 of the series, I guess you could say, for 2016. So let's get started. Without further ado, guys, let's go over some of the decks that I still own. Next we have Chronomalies. Now, this is a deck that I want to profile for you guys really badly, but then artifacts got hit, and then the cards came out, and Nebrodisc is so good, and then I just did not go back and profile it for you guys. So hopefully in 2015, 2016 I will get around to profiling this deck for you guys, because it is still a fun deck to play. It's kind of a deck that can go for many different things. This deck I'm going to try to work on for Halloween. It's been like a year or two since I profiled this on the channel, but there's been so much new support this year, indirect support for this deck this year. I really want to profile it for you guys. We got Ghostrix. Ooh, Ghostrix, I know. The deck's fun to play. I mean, it really is. It's a really stall-tastic deck that gains advantage and just runs over your opponent. It's not a competitive deck by any imagination, so don't let people put grandeur in your head. However, it is a good deck, and I really want to profile this deck for you guys because it's just a fun deck, and it's a good seasonal type of deck where you play around Halloween and stuff. So we'll probably get to Ghostrix in October. If not by now, this is probably October by the time you've seen this video, or it could be late September, so maybe I'll get to that deck shortly, hopefully. I'm kind of hoping I do. But yeah, definitely working on that for you guys. And, oops, oh my gosh, I had a mishap in here, guys. I'm so sorry. Dang it, go back up. This is what happens when you have too many decks. Your cards get messed up. Okay, there we go. Whew. Put Ghostrix back. Next step out. What is my next one I have here? Spirits, I think it is. Oh, no, this is not Spirits. Heck no. Lightsworms. Lightsworms with Shaddolls. I'm waiting for Minerva. It'll probably take 2 more years for Minerva to get a reprint, but who the hell cares? Excuse my French, I got Felice. I'm just going to wait for the reprint. I mean, I want to play Lightsworms, but it just feels so weird not playing it without Minerva. I mean, there's so many good ways you can play it with Minerva, so I'm just going to wait for Minerva. I mean, I do have my Gores in here, and I've made it a light and dark deck that I profiled last year, but you really need Minerva in the deck. You really, really do. At the end of the day. Is this water? Yeah, my water deck, I think this is. Yep, this is water. Next up, we have water. Thank you, Meku Tsunami. Meku Tsunami. We got water.deck. All the number of monsters. All the exceeds. Yes. This is water.deck. This is that crab turtle deck that I profiled for you guys a while ago. I will probably update this in 2017. Most likely, but the deck's fun. Oh my gosh, this deck is so fun to play. It's not competitive, but the fact that I made a deck that revolves around Crab Turtle and it actually works is amazing, and it's all thanks to pre-preparation of rights. Thank you, pre-pep. Not pre-prep. Yeah. Next up, we have here Gagagas. Now, this deck I'm probably going to update very, very, very soon. If it's not already been updated for you guys already by the time you're seeing this video. And that is Gagagas. You may have already seen this updated recently. At the time of recording this video, I'm still waiting for Gagaga Head to come out, which should be in the next week, this week actually. Sometime soon it's supposed to be coming out, like this next couple of weeks. I want to get that card, I want to put it in this deck, and I want to play this deck. Because Gagagas are just a fun deck to play. Next we have Noble Knights. I am testing a version out of this deck to see if it works my way, if it works for me. You know the gist. And that's Noble Knights with Mausoleum of White. Now you may say, what the fudge Seto are you thinking? Well, I'm waiting for some new Noble Knight cards to come in the mail so I can hollow out the deck instead of having platinum rares, because I really like the deck. Yes, it's an old school deck. Yes, it's not going to be competitive, but I was watching videos online of Noble Knight decks, and there was this one guy that came up with an idea with Mausoleum of White because you have light tuners with Lady of the Lake, and I said, oh my gosh, this actually could work to make the deck kind of good, because Kaiser Coliseum got banned, you can't go that route, you know, inconsistent, you know, Roto went back down to 1-1, Upstart Goblin went to 1, consistency problems, so I'm trying out a different build to see if it works. And hopefully I'll have that to you sometime soon. Next up, we have Agents. This deck I profile usually religiously once a year because I love this deck. I love, love, love Agents. Agents. You got your agent monsters, right? You got Mistworm, you got Underworld Fighter Belmont, you got all these guys here. It can still go for Trish very easily, like in the old days, but this is an agent deck that revolves around Valhalla the Fallen, and you can run Divine Punishment, which is good, and this Sanctity in the Sky. So I built it that way. I mean, there's different ways you can play agents, TG agents, a whole bunch of different ways. I went with the more pure version just because the fact of the matter was that's the best way. I feel like you get extra benefits when you're playing Sanctuary in the Sky, even though it's not a good card. I wish what Konami would do, and I would wish they would do this, is they made another Sanctuary in the Sky card that was said when this card is on the field, it is treated as Sanctuary in the Sky, and it had some better effects than Sanctuary in the Sky really does. If they did that, that would be awesome. But the card's not that bad, and I do love playing agents. Master Hyperion's getting kind of power creep, but I'm hoping sometime down the road, like they're redoing the structure decks, that in the future they make more agent support, which would be really nice. And hopefully one day they'll maybe even make more Dark World support, like in last week's video. So that would make my day. What do we got here? Next we have Evilswarms, the deck I'm working on right at the moment and playing. Ophion is a boss. Evilswarms. Ugh, so evil but so good. It's just like all the anti-meta player in me just comes out and says Evilswarms are amazing. Love me some Evilswarms. Next up, let's go in here, this box. We have the Burning Abyss with Phantom Knights, of course. Still playtesting said deck. Still testing it out. There's my other Leviair. I was wondering where other Leviair went. Where's the other one at? Oh, that's in my Dolces. Yeah, I have double Leviair I need for a couple of my decks. I was wondering where the other one was at. There you go, your Phantom Knight stuff. I'm still waiting for some... I sold my Phantom Knight stuff and I gave it to a friend to borrow for locals one night. So yeah, there is my Burning Abyss stuff, guys. I love the deck. Still testing it out in the new format. Speedroy Terratop. I can't believe that card went up to so expensive. It's just not worth it. But whatever. I've been playing the deck for quite some time now. Playing it for a year and a half. I even played it when Duelist Alliance came out with it, but I used my friend's deck. Next, a deck I'm trying out thanks to a fellow subscriber and Yu-Gi-Tuber out there who I know subscribed to me. And that is... oh gosh, hang on. Traptrix. I saw a deck profile that he profiled like ages ago of Traptrix. And I want to build this deck so bad. So I said, you know what? I've been wanting to do this for a while. I like the Traptrix engine, so let's build it. So I'm still testing it out. It's working out pretty well, but I do like the Traptrix deck. This format, I may get around to profiling this for you guys, but it's a deck I tried online and I've been playing it in real life, and it worked out pretty well. I was very impressed by the deck is what I'm trying to say. Go back in there. And next up, Melodious Divas, Mozart, Meloetta. Deck is not amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a fun deck to play. Especially with Transmodify. This card went up in price because of ABCs. I mean, I like the deck, don't get me wrong. I mean, Bloom Diva is really good. I mean, the deck is a fun deck. I'm just hoping they get a little bit more support, and there'll be probably a good, solid, fun deck to play. Then you got your 3 Bloom Diva and everything right there. Polydynamo. Yep. Next up, oh, go back down. You got your Lunalights. A good deck that I'm hoping gets Crimson Fox here soon. There's my other Leviair. I knew I had 3 of them. Bloody hell. Seto Kaba is losing his mind. The Fusion Recovery. That card went up in price as well. Tenki. Yeah, I profiled this deck not too long ago. The deck's good. Don't get me wrong. It just needs Crimson Fox. Bad. Like, the deck would be so much better if you had Crimson Fox over here. Next, we have one of my personal decks that I created out of my mind years ago, and that is Marauding Captain deck, featuring the star of the show and his wife, Injection Fairy Lily, and Mr. BLS, who was his best man at his wedding. Let me get the other Marauding Captain. I love Marauding Captain too much. And they were presided over by the Wicked Witch. And the best maid of honor was the Red Rose Warrior of Revenge. Then Marauding Captain tried the food out. And then he rode his Delta Flyer Dragon. And then he rode with a Goblin who was a flying ace. And then Breaker the Magical Warrior blessed the wedding. That was a horrible story. But, yes, my Marauding Captain deck, guys. Oh my gosh. I profile this deck every year, religiously, because it is one of my favorite decks that I have ever created. Because the fact I get to play with some nostalgic cards, and the deck is semi-fun to play with. 3 Marauding Captain, and 1 Injection Fairy Lily. Secret from Legend of Darkness. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Look at that thing. It looks so beautiful. And then my Marauding Captains that I've had since I was a kid. I used to play Warrior Swarm Toolbox deck with these guys. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. Good memories. Good memories. I love this deck to death. I love this deck to death. Marauding Captain. I love that deck. I love that deck. I love that deck. It's such a fun deck. It's one of those like crap total type of decks that I created ages ago. Next up, we have a nostalgic type of deck, which is you can't play anymore necessarily, but still. Oh, hang on, guys. It's still a good deck nonetheless. That being Tele-Dad format deck, which I play with at locals sometimes to show people how good Tele-Dad was and how painful it was. Stardust Dragon, Dark Ruler Hadaz, Double Stardust Spark Dragon. I mean, this was Tele-Dad format, guys. These were all the good synchros we had back then. I have a second Go-Yo Guardian floating around here, so don't worry about that. But this was Tele-Dad with Brain Control, with D-Draw, Armageddon Knight, Allure of Darkness at 3, 3 Solemn Judgment, Malicious, Royal Oppression, Stupidness, Stratos was legal. It's a fun deck to play, but my friends hate me when I bring this. I'm like, hey, let's play Tele-Dad format. They're like, oh my gosh, no. The evil of this world. But me and a couple friends have played that deck before. It is so fun to play Tele-Dad format, just for funsies, not for competitively, but yeah, it's fun. To go back and revisit old formats, that is. Next up, I think, it's just random kaiju stuff. We have Skull Servants with Serenuri's Stage. So I've been testing this deck out actually very recently. Granted, however, when I looked at my build and the way I had played the deck, because I've played this deck for 3-4 years now, ever since, it's been quite a while. But I know Alinthio is famous for doing this deck profile, so I don't want to feel like I'm stealing from him or anything. So I changed the deck up a little bit. And then when I looked at my deck profile, I looked at his, I was like, damn it, it's literally our same, it's like we thought I was like, oh my gosh, I literally feel like we were just thinking the same exact thing. And I was like, this is just stupid. So I will probably profile for this deck for you guys. I'm still testing it out, and I feel embarrassed to profile it because it's so similar to Alinthio's build. However, I run my deck a little bit differently. I like the Serenuri's Sage because this card's amazing in the deck, and Swallow's Slash is amazing, and the fact that it's dead samurais fighting with Skull Servants, which is a deck I've always loved, is just like awesome. It's awesomeness. So I'm probably gonna test this deck out some more, see what I think about it, and then probably profile for that deck for you guys for Halloween time. That along with Ghostrix. Next up, we have Chaos. Gonzaluk. This is 2004 Chaos with BLS, Chaos Emperor Dragon, Sinister Serpent. I profiled this deck for you guys last year. I'll probably update a profile of it. Nothing's really changed. I do it like once in a while because it's just a fun deck to play around with. Chaos is a fun format to just play in general, really. And I really enjoy playing Chaos format, and I really enjoy playing older formats once in a while. Not for the reasons like, oh, it was a great format. No, not that reason. Mainly for the reason is because the fact of the matter is I love playing older formats. You get to play with cards that you no longer play with. You get to play with nostalgia, which is awesome. And it teaches you something. It teaches you how to play a little bit better. Especially if it's older formats. Like Tele-Dad, yes, it's kind of hoopty-doopty. You just repeat and recycle, making big synchro plays. But it teaches you how to function a deck. It teaches you card economy. Older decks like these, Scapegoat format and this, and Chaos format. Older formats like between... before the 5Ds era, are literally very thoughtful decks where you have to use your resources a lot more wisely. If it's before the Zexal era, it's always using resources wisely, I find. If it's after that, it's not so much. But before Zexal, it's always you play formats like that. You have to use your resources properly. If you make one mistake in one type of decks, like Scapegoat format with this, you're a dead man. Though the decks were very powerful at the time. But if you're playing in the mirror match with those older decks, you can't make mistakes. You just cannot. Next, we have a deck which I'm waiting for new support to come out, and that is Red Eyes. Meteor Burst Dragon, I'm just keeping here for funsies. Red Eyes, Ulti, Gagaga Luminescent Knight, Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon. The fusions. I'm waiting for the new support to come out, guys, so I can profile this deck for you guys. So that is what my plan is. Yes. So yeah, I'm waiting for the deck to I'm waiting for the new stuff to come out, so I can test it out, and test it for you guys, and see how good it. Oh, my secret. Oh yeah, I love that Red Eyes Darkness Metal Drag as a secret. Oh yeah, and Yahtzee. Yahtzee. But yeah, I'm just waiting for a update of the deck, guys, just for the new support to come out, and then we'll update it for you guys. Next up, we have the mighty one himself. That's Kaiku. Sorry for the dogs barking, guys. What time do we got? We got 17 minutes. I think we got one more deck we can go through, and then we can finish everything up next week. We got Buster Blader. Buster Blader. I don't know why. Yeah, I have many Buster Blader secrets. What can I say? People keep sending them to me. I'm like, okay. But Buster Blader, I have it with the new support there, but I just haven't got a chance to sit down and test the deck out with the new support. Apologize for the dogs barking, guys, but yeah. King Kabuyo works well on the deck because you can use it with Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon with one of the baby dragons, so you can go for Beast Eyes, which is really nice. So yeah, the deck's good. I just haven't had time to sit down and test it for you guys. But yeah, that is all we're going to do for this time, guys. There's Beast Eyes. For this time, guys, but I hope to see you next time on my deck profiles. We have probably enough for one more segment, I think. Granted, the fact that Seto Kaiba has 76 decks, or 70-something decks, is a lot of decks to go through, and I can't just do that in 20 minutes. So guys, till next time, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.